See, trauma isn't tradition. Hmm? For the fact that you were traumatized or you are traumatized doesn't mean that you should pass it on to your next generation or pass it on to your children. So I think I've made a couple of videos about we healing from trauma before we do certain things like settling down or having children and all that, right? But this has been coming up again, right? A lot of people don't do the healing before they move on. And then this affects us in a way that hurt people have a tendency of hurting people unconsciously or consciously. So you happen to settle down with so much trauma and give birth to a child, and you act in a certain way towards the child, and you practically tell this child that I did this during my own time. This was what they did to me. During my own time, I went through this particular process before this thing happened. I went through it before I became this. You are still traumatized from it though. You know that is not right. If you had the chance, you wouldn't let yourself go through that which you went through. But yet, you are passing it on to your children. You're doing the same thing to them. Even when you know it's wrong, even when you know that it's hurting, but you're doing the same thing to them. You want them to go through the same process. You want them to go through the same suffering that you went through. You want them to go through every bit of pain that you went through. If you were a first child and you carried a certain level of responsibility on you, which you know, weighed you down, and you're still struggling with the amount of trauma this must have cost you, yet you're telling your child to go through the same thing, even when you have the opportunity to ease it up on them. So I don't get how we are now making trauma a tradition, like something to pass on to the next generation, something to make your own children go through it, or make your own husband experience it, or something. You are hurt from whatever happened between you and your father. You're hurt from whatever happened between your mother and your father. And then you don't see it fit that you should work on healing before you eventually settle down. That is marriage, right? You eventually marry. But then you carry this bunch of garbage, right, to take to this person's house and to expect this person to love you, to be there, to be a husband, a good husband, with every atom of toxicity that you are portraying to this person, right? And if we touch you small, you say that you know how, you knew where I'm coming from, you know this. We use that as an excuse. We use the trauma as an excuse for the bullshit that we do, right? So I know that there's a level to healing, right, that you